Does Prince of Queens lie and mislead his audience? Hi, everybody. I am Renemy Kylis. What type of person is Prince of Queens? Prince of Queens is the type of person that if he seems to be in a bad mood and you check on him and ask if he's okay, he is the type of guy who would snap at you and would make a bunch of false accusations against you. I shit you not. Dirty sis, I'm not afraid of you. You've never scared me. You're my bitch. Did someone threaten to dox you or something? No, I'm not in any drama. Have fun with those her are. Drama isn't generally fun. I was just worried. And, that sounds like a good friend. That sounds like a good friend. Like a person seems upset and you're like, oh, hey, I'm just worried about you, bro. And he says, worried isn't the right word to get me convinced that you aren't just being a trauma starter. And it's like, where did you get that? All she did was ask if you are okay, and already going like, oh my goodness, you're a drama starter. Then he says, I have nothing against you. Then, like, why did you call her a trauma starter? But we've learned not to trust your crowd. So it's basically, whoa, talk about guilt by association. Sorry. Because, I mean, just because you talk to somebody doesn't mean that you're guilty of the same things that they are. Yeah, how about you associate or choose not to? You, you think I care? Well, evidently you do care. And she, like a normal person, says, I'll just stay away from you. Girl, I've actually always liked you. Doesn't seem like it. Don't let your crappy friends ruin your YouTube moment. Oh, yes. Yes. Yes, you cannot allow those crappy people to ruin your YouTube moments. Like when you ask a person if they are okay, and then they call you a drama starter out of nowhere. The only one doing that is you. I regret asking. I would too. I've been through the exact same thing with Savvy Rose, where I asked Savvy Rose if she was okay. I checked upon her, and she just snapped at me like a crazy psycho. I once again shut the fuck up, which is a nice way to escalate a situation. You know by now that what you did is wrong. How about you come clean and make it better? I want I want that from you. And she, like a normal person, says, Jesus fucking Christ, what the hell? What indeed? What indeed? You have been hanging out with assholes. You don't have to. I mean, is he her mother or something? Uh, is he the boss of her? Whom she hangs out with is none of his business. Okay, so it's still the guilt by association thing. No one actively treats me like shit for talking to you, so I don't even know who you are talking about exactly. I don't pay attention to most of these shits fits people get into with each other. I know those assholes wouldn't have anything to say because I never did anything wrong. Tell them that's missed out, but I still like you. Y- Um, you don't sound like that. I mean, you just said not that long ago to shut the fuck up. I mean, and she's been nothing but nice and patient with you the whole entire time, and yet you still treat her like shit. Well, I don't like you. I wouldn't either. I didn't do anything to you, and you bit my head off over shit. I know next to nothing about. You can leave me alone now. Oh, that's how it is. Okay, bitch. Okay, I see how that shit is. I can remember that. I I didn't bite your little head off about anything, but we are done. I mean, really, dude, really? You just told her to shut the fuck up out of nowhere. I mean, she has been friendly and patient with you. You have no idea what you are like to deal with. You called her a drama starter. You told her that you can't trust her and her crowd. And then you're going to say, well, I've never ever bit your head off, but we are done. Yeah, you did. Read this back, and all I did was check on you. Yep, that's exactly what I saw. And you went off on me because I hang out around assholes. You remind me of the shitheads that went after Wiz just for being Chef's friend. No, that's not what's happened, and you know it. Well, I think we could all corroborate her story. I will talk to Jeff and Nick about you as much as I want. Yeah, because we all know that you love talking shit about people. Since you bring that up, how old are you? Young, I bet, huh? Prince loves to hide behind his age a lot, and it's weird because he acts like really childishly for his age, but he loves hiding behind his age. He really loves the age card. Data is dead. Dude, I just read this whole thread, and that's actually just what happened. She was asking if you were okay, and you snapped at her because she hangs out with people you don't like an abusive boyfriend. There is a lot of undue escalation going on here on your parts, which is weird for a person who loves to hide behind his age, and for a person who loves to hide behind his life experience, there is a lot of undue escalation going on. And you would think that a person his age would actually use de-escalation tactics. Like the capacity to empathize with another person's viewpoints, being calm, non-defensive, and respectful in your reactions, a readiness to forgive and forget, the ability to seek compromise and avoid punishments, a belief that facing conflict head on is the best thing for both sides. Instead, I mean, what she was doing is escalating the situation and turning the situation far worse. And if you want to know about some conflict resolution tactics, I could leave that in the description below. But what he's doing is escalating a situation and making the situation far worse than it actually is. And this is the version I got from him when I was in a live stream, where I says similarly to him in the live stream, hey, what's going on, Prince? I want to hear from you, and he says, nothing happened. I posted a pic of myself on my 36th birthday saying I'm not afraid of 36. Little Miss Drama Whore assumed it had something to do with somebody doxing me, and I said it didn't, and she hangs out with drama. You're the drama queen, sweetheart. And she played victim and people white knighted. When really, like, this is the type of impression that he wanted to leave me of Miss Anan on a live stream we did together, where he just gave the very worst impression of her. Like he wanted to make her out to be some sort of monster. He is the type of person that would lie to me in DMs and say that Darren and himself have known each other for a long time, while saying in a video that he doesn't know Theryn.
I don't know. I barely know Theryn, and
He's the type of person who's going to sit up here and accuse me of white knighting for Darren while he's saying my praises when I sided with him in conflicts. You sure as hell didn't call me a white knight then when I am siding with you. He is the type of person who've made a 25 minutes long video over 2 tweets and 1 comment. I shit you not. It started off with this. Natalie's pronouns are contra. Nobody owes you a conversation, public or private, dude. And I mean, it looks like he took it the wrong way, like he got offended over nothing. He called her contra throughout the video without using any pronouns. It just seems like she's giving him a heads up. Hey, yo, Natalie's pronouns are not contra. Nobody owes you a conversation because that's the impression she got. Public or private, dude. She's like saying, hey, that's not her pronoun. She doesn't want to talk to you. Get over it. And just like with Miss Anonymous, he decides to just throw a conniption and escalate the situation, of which she just ignored him. Of course she doesn't. And if she had ever said anything to me at all, I wouldn't have taken no for an answer. Curious, you her secretary now? To me, he is overreacting because to me, she's just being informative and he's just throwing a conniption over nothing. I've get way worse comments than this from the alt-right. P.S. The reason I refer to Contra as Contra is because a mass amount of people don't know that she transitioned simply because they only watched a few videos a long while ago. I figured better safe than sorry, so I might as well avoid using pronouns entirely to avoid confusion. However, I guess it doesn't matter. Someone mentioned to me that you were her guard dog now. I didn't take them seriously. Way too escalated. I mean, she's being informative from my point of view, and you're just going to call her a guard dog. And then somebody basically take a screenshots over a conversation, added Theryn Meyer's name to it, and then she did call him insufferable, but before she did, this guy called her a dog. I mean, seriously, bruh? I mean, I guess if I were to start, conflict with Bering, like, Bering, you are an asshole and a jerk face. It looks like if I were to start conflict with, Bering, it looks like he cannot call me a cunt or anything like that. If you are going to insult her first, drawing the very first punch, escalating the situation, of course I have no problem with her calling you insufferable right after you called her a guard dog. What world do you live in? If I were to call Sargon of Akkad a jerk and he called me a bitch, he has every right to do so. You'd Ugh. It's absolutely incredible and amazing that a person would actually make a 25 minutes video over 1 comment and 2 tweets, of which, I mean, he drew the first punch by calling her a guard dog. This guy is absolutely amazing. She didn't talk to him anymore any past this, not that I've seen. Now, in that 25 minutes video, he says this.
Truthfully, Contra's gender basically wasn't a concern of mine in the slightest.
Really? Because your Twitter history paints a little bit of a different picture. Curious because I've never heard you say, do you consider yourself parts of the LGBT community? I had heard you're a hetero. I'm fairly similar to Sargon in political opinions in a lots of ways, but similar to you in that I am LGBT and have mixed a lot more with the far left and to no inability to talk to leftists. You can listen to this live stream with an Antifa guy. He says this.
Guessing Theryn made this video. Most likely, I'm older. I'm just gonna guess about what it's like to be Theryn's age because I remember being Theryn's age. I'm guessing Theryn made this sobby apology video likely due to social alienation, the urge to fit back in with her peers, and the realization that the right-wing cultural demographic is just as awful, if not more awful than the left often, which, for the record, I warned Theryn about in early 2016 when we first talked. And so I think that she decided that she didn't want to stay on the right, so she decided to go back to the left. I think it's as simple as that. But maybe...
For me, I would prefer to hear it straight from the horse's mouth than some telepath. According to Theryn herself discussing her views, people seem to think that I'm now, one, pandering to the left, capitulating to their demands of moral purity, and two, abandoning rigorous arguments for feelings. There are still a lot of views I hold that are directly in opposition to a lot of left-wing people, and I'm not going to change those opinions just in order to be in with the political tribe. The left still has a major problem with a draconian purity test, and I will probably never pass them, and neither do I want to. That has never been my motive, and it baffles me to see so many people thinking it is. People can stop accusing me of being a leftist SJW. I'll own I'll own that label. The things that make me center rights are my belief in a limited role of governments, maybe my affinity to some parts of traditionalism, though that's a personal opinion more than a political one. Wow, that is some amazing telepathy skills you got there, buddy. Good job.
However, my problem now is simply that I don't think Theryn did even a remotely convincing job of making me believe she was sincere in her new feelings towards non-binary people, and which I know that she knows isn't true.
Let us make one thing explicitly clear. Theryn Meyer's opinion on non-binary identity is the same now as it was before she published her controversial video. She has personally corroborated this to me, which means that when she says this,
I just want to tell all the non-binary people out there, every single one of you, that you are valid.
She is only reaffirming a belief that she has already held fast to. Now,
Wow, that was just amazing. Amazing telepathy skills. How he could just read Theryn Meyer's mind and have great telepathy skills because he was 21 once. And somehow he knows what it's like to be a 21 transgender Afrikaner. Like, wow, just wow. I mean, because you were 21 once, you would know exactly what it would be like to be a black person from Lebanese or, a 21 Japanese person. It's amazing what great knowledge you could have just by being 36 years old. Like, wow, this is just amazing.
Contrapoints basically brags about in the interview they did together, Contrapoints doesn't feel like talking to people with opposing opinions.
Like Sargon, or Blair White, or me. Now, I didn't watch the whole entire interview. However, I did see Contrapoints talking about this on her timeline. The reason why she stopped debating people is because she was getting a lot of backlash from her fans. Her fans were accusing her of being a TERF or the next Blair White. It was having a mental toll on her. Therefore, she quits doing debates to take a hiatus.
Over 75% of that gender dysphoria video Contra made, and Contra still never explained any transition. Unless maybe at the end, but it was long, boring, and indirect.
I made this video about my gender dysphoria. Continue.
Watching. The only place I have found Contra saying that Contra goes by she, her pronouns is on Contra's Twitter bio, which I just noticed today. But sorry not sorry for not reading Twitter bios for gender pronouns because I'm not an SJW, and it's just not how my brain works. I'm more...
Oh, come now. Oh, come now. Don't be shy. This is us we're talking about, and you can be completely honest with us. In this video, you said that you watched Contrapoints debate Sargon of Akkad. You've also mentioned that you watched Contrapoints being interviewed by Theryn Meyer, of which her pronouns have been used. So there is absolutely, positively no way you had no idea of her pronouns because Sargon used her pronouns within 10 seconds of that debate. And the interview that you were complaining about, her pronouns were mentioned within the first 3 minutes. Let's go.
May be familiar with. I'll leave a link to her description in the channel, in the description box, to her channel in the description box. Duh.
Contrapoints, maybe Natalie Carter, aka Contrapoints. And she is famously known as the pessimistic socialist. And her beautifully filmed videos have garnered millions of views and thousands of subscribers and created quite a successful YouTube channel. And, well, thank you all for coming. And I hope you...
The way I view it, you are just being passive aggressive. If you watched those 2 live streams, you must have known that she's gone by she, her pronouns. So what I believe that's happened is that you asked Contrapoints to do a live stream with you. She ignored you, so you decided to get very passive aggressive about it. And I don't believe your excuse of, many people had no idea that she transitioned, so you just call her Contra. That's not to confuse anybody, because it would have been a lot simpler to say, I would be calling Contra by she, her pronouns because I know that she transitioned. It would be simpler to do that. So anyway, this has been Renemy Kylis. If you enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe, and share everywhere. Bye-bye, everyone. One more thing before I forget. If you are going to make a 19 minutes video called You Never Admit That You Are Wrong, you better be really good at admitting that you're wrong, because I did an advanced Twitter search to see if he ever admits when he is wrong. And what I found out is that throughout all of his tweets, I have never ever seen him admit that he is wrong. Bye, y'all. But for real this time.